नहीं आएगा।
आनंद सर,
यस सर।
सर को ज्वाइन करा रहे हैं प्रिंसिपल सर। हाँ, 1 मिनट विश करेंगे, उसके बाद आप जो है शुरू करेंगे, ठीक है?
ओके सर, श्योर सर।
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good
Good afternoon,
afternoon. So, welcome
Good afternoon, sir.
on
Good
behalf
afternoon.
of Sahodaya Dilip, Sahodaya Hazaribag, and I'm sure about that that 240 teachers have joined, and we have given the channel, that is the YouTube channel also, and I'm sure about that you will enjoy this program. Today topic is going to be presented by Mr. Anand Nelson Rai, Holy Cross, Senior Teacher, Holy Cross School, Hazaribag. And topic is brilliant topic, everybody must know. How Yashpal said a few years back, even 10 years back, I attended that seminar. I still remember learning without burden, learning enjoyable. So he expressed about that how learning will become enjoyable. How just you have to create these children will enjoy real learning. So then anger free, how to create. Now the curriculum, now new education policy is advocating anger free school. Listen, anger free school, think about that, and I'm sure about that ki just you will 1 hour just you will learn so many things. Without completing, I extend my best wishes, best of luck. Mr. Anand Nensal Rai, are you
thank
present?
you. Yes sir, thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you
go
for your kind
ahead,
words. Yes.
and you will learn, and all the formality, technicality, or certificate will be there. On 14th, just session will be not 1 hour, but 1 hour 15 minutes. Second session I will take, and our regional officer, in my session, he has given the consent. Regional officer and CEO will join. Some of the activity will do, and that is, it is my request to all of you. You must bring the Dettol's bottle of Dettol. Okay, you must. On 14th we are sending the letter. I am sending the letter, you send it. Some activities, 4 or 5 activities will carried out. So 1 hour 15 minutes or 1 hour 30 minutes most probably. So 1 hour 30 minutes. So I will send today, so that you can well prepare, and question answer I will give, so that you can send through the question answer, and I will take up the question also. It is very important for Hazaribag, because Hazaribag must be given a center, separate center. Why it is needed? That's why I have invited them. So please bring bring some materials. I will suggest you, I will send through the written paper. And Vijay Kumar, you please go through it. I am attending one meeting also, very important, but I will see. Okay. So YouTube channel also, those teachers who have missed through the direct, Google Meet, so definitely they can join the YouTube channel. So with these words, best of luck. Thank you, sir.
Thank you sir for your kind words. I think we are good to go to start today's session. A very warm good afternoon to all the principals and teachers attending this online in-house training session. My special thanks to Ashok Srivastav sir, Principal DAV Public School and President of Hazaribag Sahodaya School Complex. I thank Father Rosner Khalko, Principal St. Xavier's Hazaribag, and Secretary of Hazaribag Sahodaya School Complex. And I thank my principal, Sister Kirti Kiran, Holy Cross School, Principal of Holy Cross School Hazaribag, for providing me this platform for sharing my understanding and views on the topic anger-free schools. To start with, we must first understand that what is the importance and source of today's topic. On December 23rd, 2019, a circular was issued by CBSE on making schools anger-free or no anger zones. This initiative was taken under Fit India movement, and the prime goal is to turn schools into learning abodes where we can create a positive learning environment for our students. The goal is to keep our schools free from any kind of negativities that can hamper the overall development of students. One such negativity is anger, which has serious ill effects on the learning behavior of the students. Yes, we are talking about anger, which is a negative emotion at times if not handled well, and it can have serious ill effects on learning behavior of the students. We must understand that learning is closely associated with fitness of body and mind. A fit mind is a creative mind, and it is well equipped to serve the society. To nurture these fit minds, we need to create what we are calling anger-free schools, where we can ensure that we are striving towards joyful education and holistic fitness of our students. So the need for creating anger-free school is to achieve joyful education and holistic fitness of our dear students. Let us understand what joyful learning actually is. Joyful learning is a mode of learning in which learners are given opportunities to experience emotions of surprise in delightful ways while they are learning. Students nurture their curiosity while interacting with meaningful content through a supportive community of classmates and peers, and also teachers to help them out. Joyful learning revolves around three main P's. First, P is passion. Second P stands for play. And the third P stands for purpose. So joyful learning revolves around these three P's: passion, play, and purpose. It is a meaningful engagement where students are given creative liberty and are made active partners in the learning process. Students need to be active partners in the learning process, and this is what we call as giving creative liberty to them. Obviously, it is a change in perspective towards the learning process where students are motivated and engaged so that they can experience the learning content in a joyful way. If you see on the right side of the screen, which I'm sharing, holistic development of students means that overall development in all the aspects possible. It is not only academic and sports, but other important aspects like emotional development, development of critical thinking skills, and also conflict resolution skills. This also include positive character formation of students by development of healthy social skills and inculcation of good manners in them. We can take help of learning by doing method, which is the base of what we call experiential learning. So as you can see on the right side of the screen, holistic education is including not only academics, but it is also touching aspects like emotional development, creative thinking skills, conflict resolution skills, character formation, healthy social skills, inculcation of good manners, and the base of all this, which is experiential learning, hands-on learning of the lessons. And on the left side, we can see that joyful learning includes change in perspective. It includes improved motivation for the students. It includes engaging the learners. It includes making learning more authentic and original for them so that they can implement that learning in the real life scenarios, and to encourage autonomy and control. That means we are shifting from teacher-centric mode of education to student-centric mode of education, where more autonomy, more freedom is given to the students in the learning process. It is shared, sir. it is shared. You just have to shift the tabs. I think it is visible. Kindly check once.
Please pin.
I'll reshare
Sir,
it.
please pin it.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes. So we were talking about joyful learning and holistic development. I hope the screen is visible to all. Yes, thank you. So holistic education, as we have discussed, that includes core academics, because now the screen is in front, so you can see that on the right side, we are understanding the meaning of what holistic education is. We have already discussed that anger-free schools aims at achieving joyful learning and holistic development. Holistic development includes not only involvement of students in academics, but also touching aspects like emotional development, critical thinking skills, conflict resolution skills, character formation, healthy social skills, good manners, hands-on lessons, which means experiential learning. On the other hand, on the left-hand side, when we see what joyful learning is, we are talking about motivating the students to a level so that they can grasp the learning. We are engaging the learners by making them active participants in the learning process. We are talking about authentic learning. That means learning which can be used in the real life scenarios. We are talking about autonomy and control given to the students. That means we are making the educational process more student-centric than teacher-centric. And obviously, this is an overall change in perspective. Moving to the next slide. Now, when we talk about the most important function of a school, if we take it superficially, it is only understood as development in academics or in sports. But there are some hidden functions which we need to ponder about. The first function is to conserve and perpetuate the social life. In simple words, the environment which we create in school has a huge impact on the society. Second function is to promote culture and civilization. The manners which we teach our students is impacting the cultural life and also the civilization which we are part of. The third important function of the school is that it also talks about the overall development of the individual, which is not just academics and sports. Now we are understanding it. The fourth function is that we are making students more socially efficient. That means we are making them socially responsible. The fifth important function of the school talks about making the students and helping them out to make them ready to adjust to the post-school situations. Next is inculcation of higher values in life. It is important that we inculcate sound moral principles in our students while we are imparting education to them, because it will definitely improve their values in life, the ethics which they need to survive in the society. As it is rightly said, when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. But when character is lost, everything is lost. Now, coming to the concept of anger-free school, it is quite clear from the topic that anger-free school is a school which is practicing anger management. Anger management is the process of learning how to recognize signs of anger and taking action to calm down and deal with the situation in a positive way. This is the definition which is given by the Mayo Clinic staff in 2011. It is a process of learning how to recognize the signs of anger and then taking actions to calm down and deal with the situation in a positive way. That means the school educators, parents, the school personnel, and other stakeholders are trying to manage their anger, and at the same time, they are setting example for the students so that they can manage their anger as well. The main idea or reason behind making schools anger-free is to create a learning environment where a sound and peaceful mind is ready to develop affective skills. We want to eradicate the negative emotions like fear, disrespect, humiliation, hurt, which are the byproducts of anger, and most importantly, are the barriers to the teaching and learning process. We want to make our students more mentally active and emotionally wealthy. This is the main idea behind creating anger-free schools. We are making our students mentally active and emotionally wealthy so that they can be good learners in the overall teaching and learning process. Now, the CBSE, through its circular, which we have seen at the beginning of the session, gives out certain ways by which we can create an anger-free school. There is an idea of placing signage boards with "This is an anger-free zone" written on it at reception area and other strategic locations and vantage points in the school. Teachers are meant to be responsible not only as educators, but also as mentors for the students. We can practice the idea of exercises with children in the assembly area, in the sports and art periods, in our classrooms, in our labs. We can record experiences of students, parents, and teachers, and can work effectively in order to settle the grievances they have. We can make effective use of social media and school website to announce that we are endeavoring to become an anger-free school. And definitely, we can have rewards and recognition for improvement in the areas of anger management. There is also a need to promote more of physical education, art integrated classes, yoga, and meditation in our schools. So these are some of the steps that we have discussed which can help us create an anger-free school. Now, having understood the concept of anger and how an anger-free school needs to be, let us get into the technicalities of this topic. What is anger exactly? It seems as a negative word, but we need to understand that it is just a normal human emotion that we need to deal with patience. There can be various ways by which anger can be reflected in human behavior. An angry person can be found shouting. He or she can be found sad or silent. An angry person can be seen violent. Sometimes they are found crying. In better words, if we understand this, angry people are those who need more love, understanding, care, compassion, and empathy. And definitely, if we are dealing with an angry person, we should not use the same negative emotion in reciprocation. Gandhiji very well said that an eye for an eye will make the whole world blind. We must understand as educators that there are hidden emotions behind the emotion called anger. The cause of anger can be hopelessness. It can be fear. It can be guilt. It can be depression. It can be shame. It can be jealousy. It can be pain of some kind. It can be injustice. It can be sadness. It can be confusion. It can be humiliation, anxiety, rejection, loneliness, and most of the times stress. Our students can be angry when they are tired, when they are hungry, when they are overstimulated. Our students can be angry when they feel powerless. They can be angry when they feel disconnected from the class. They can be angry when they feel unheard, when they need our attention. They can be angry when they cannot display their anger, what they have for their family or for their friends. They can be angry when their personal boundaries are invaded. They can be angry when they are anxious. They can be angry when they are not getting what they want. And most importantly, they are angry when they cannot verbalize what they want. So this is what anger is. If you can look at the slide which I'm sharing, anger is like an iceberg. What we see in an iceberg is just the upper surface. Most of the iceberg is hidden under the water. Anger is just like that. There are hidden emotions behind this emotion, which is called anger. That emotion can be embarrassment, excitement also, disappointment, jealousy, fear, helplessness, sadness, and being left out. So it is very important that if we want to tackle the emotion called anger, we also need first to understand that there are some hidden reasons behind anger, and we need to tackle with those emotions first. Let us take an anecdote. Let us take an example. If we have a problem child in our class who is habitual of coming late to school, and that is happening on a daily basis, instead of being impatient with that student and explaining him or her the rules of the school, we need to understand the reason for that student coming late every single day and deal with that student with compassion and empathy. When we talk about the word empathy, it simply means that we need to step into that person's shoes and understand the problem from their perception. Then we can try and draw a possible solution in partnership with the parents. That is how we can deal with our anger. That is how we can deal with the anger of our students. So by far, we have understood that anger is an emotion and it is okay to be angry. It is like a silent volcano which must not erupt. When we vent out anger physically, it is called aggression, and aggression is harmful. We need to take anger and aggression as two different words, as they have very different meaning. Anger is an emotion which can be dealt with. But if we are venting out our anger physically, that is what is called aggression. So not allowing our anger to convert into aggression is what is called anger management. We need to ensure that our anger is not converting into aggression, and that is when we are practicing what is called anger management. So we need to check our aggression and express our anger appropriately. Now, when we know the difference between the anger and aggression, and also understand the value of anger management, let us talk about some of the reasons why we teachers get angry. Now, this is something which is quite usual to us at times. We need to introspect and understand the reason behind our anger. Sometimes teachers are angry because they lack control in the class. This is mostly happening when we are not prepared with our lessons. If we are not prepared, then we vent our anger at students. Then another reason for being angry for a teacher can be disrespect from the side of students. Now, this can happen when we are unable to understand their expectations and they are unable to understand our expectations. In the present times, when we are in the era of internet and social media, we can command respect and not demand it. We can only get the respect from our students if we treat them respectfully. There can be another reason for a teacher to be angry, and that is when instructions are not followed by the students. When our students do not follow our instructions, we are agitated. But we fail to understand at times that because we are not communicating the instructions properly to the students, that can be the reason for them not following them. We can be angry because at times we can have some dissatisfaction from the side of school administration. We can be angry when we have unhealthy relation with our school colleagues. We can be angry when our parents are interfering too much in the teaching process. We can be angry when the students are inattentive or lazy because we are not making the class more energetic. We can be angry because of our extra work overload, tiredness, or fatigue. We can be angry because of frustration from technology, which we had come across during these online classes so many times. If we are not tech savvy, if we are not good with the technology, it may lead us to agitation and irritability. We can be angry at times when we need certain resources in the school, but they are not available. We can be angry when we are not happy with the content of the course. We are mostly angry when we have pressure of academic evaluation. And most importantly, we can be angry when there are some unavoidable family circumstances on the side of both the teachers and students, which are unavoidable. Yes, so these are the reasons for which can make a teacher angry. But we must understand that if we are angry, we are making our students helpless. We are not being angels to them, but we are like demons. We are not perfect in the process of imparting education to them. It is brilliantly said that a mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, but it is the great teacher who inspires. We need to inspire our students to manage anger. That is what is important when a school is anger-free zone. We need to set examples in front of our students so that they can channelize their emotion called anger in a positive way. Now, let us talk about what are the roles of teachers in creating an anger-free school. We need to acknowledge that anger can be perfectly normal and can be expressed in a calm and respectful manner. We need to recognize and make our students understand the difference between anger and aggression. We need to prevent conditions in the classroom that are likely to induce frustration or anger among students. We need to, this is a very important point, that we need to manage our emotions to a positive state before even entering a class. Before entering a classroom or before facing our students, we need to manage our emotions to a positive state. We need to be proactive. Being proactive means we need to be well prepared and planned for our lessons. We need to teach problem-solving skills to our students. We need to also practice anger management techniques like deep breathing, maintenance of a journal, writing diary entries, etc. with our students. And most importantly, we need to be an example. We need to be example in front of students by using appropriate ways of handling difficult situations and frustrations. Now let us talk about what are the role of students in an anger-free school. Our students should be able to identify the triggers. Triggers means the root cause of anger, and stresses, which means the causes of anger, by developing self-awareness. They should be able to give a reality check of the problems, and they should learn to think of a potential solution for a problem instead of just complaining about them. They should develop critical skills, critical skill, which is the critical thinking skill, to sharpen the decision making in different problem situations. They must learn to be empathetic and compassionate towards each other and also towards the teachers. They must stay calm and take care of the physical and mental health. This is something that we have learned during the lockdown. They must feel free to discuss, and we must create an environment that our students are feeling free to discuss their issues with us. Instead of venting out their anger in a negative way, we need to make them learn how to discuss their grievances, how to settle the problems that they have with their classmates or even with the teachers. Moving forward, there are some roles that school administration can very well play in creating us an anger-free school. One nice way can be installing a listen to me box for staff and students to freely express their concerns. We can have display boards on themes like empathy, tolerance, compassion, as these are the traits that we need to inculcate in our students. So we can have display boards on these topics. We can have display in the class bulletin boards as well. We can have display boards at different vantage points in the school. And that's how we keep on hitting these traits to the mind of our students. Then we can have active committees for addressing complaints for display of anger in the school premises. And there should be a positive behavior support system. There should be rewards given for good behavior. If somebody has managed his or her anger well and behaved well, then that person should be rewarded. At the same time, we should have a culture of rewarding good behavior instead of just punishing the bad behavior. Most of the time, we are punishing the bad behaviors more and rewarding good behavior less. So that can have a negative impact. I must say that teaching is a wonderful gift that we must enjoy being teacher in this world. We can love our profession by respecting the fact that when God had to come to this world, he also has chosen to be a teacher. We need to keep the negative emotions like dishonesty, complaining attitude, laziness, hopelessness, selfishness, ego, and most importantly, anger away from us. And try and harbor positive emotions like forgiveness, empathy, compassion, responsibility, honesty, creativity, and joyfulness in our lives. And set example for our students so that they can set example for the society by being the agents of change. We need to reflect and honestly think how our students feel when they enter the school premises. Are they afraid of us or are they inspired of us? By making the school anger-free, we can certainly bring about a change in perspective, a change in the trend. Let us make our students feel at ease when they are at school and create a stress-free learning environment for them. Let us make them feel happy and enthusiastic when they enter the school premises. This will only happen when we are converting our schools to anger-free zones. Let us make our school a roller coaster ride for our students instead of making it like a pressure cooker. Now, to take a break and to move towards understanding of what can be negative effects of anger, I have a video to show to all of you how anger can be negative to us. Let us enjoy this video and try and get some message out of it.
I want to share with you a powerful story about a snake and a saw. Before you question what a snake and a saw has to do with your life, it is about much more than a snake and a saw. It's about what happens to us when we react in anger. It's about what happens to us when we hold on to resentment and when we don't let go of negative emotions. It's about what can happen to us when we want negative things to happen to others. So the story is this. One night after closing time, a snake found its way inside a home improvement store. As the snake slithered around, it clipped itself on a handsaw. It was lying on the ground. Thinking the saw was a threat, the snake instantly snapped around and bit the saw. Of course, this caused much more damage, with the snake cutting inside its mouth. Not understanding what was happening and thinking the saw was an enemy, the snake wrapped its long body around the saw, attempting to suffocate it. Of course, the snake didn't do any damage to the saw. Instead, ended up being killed by the sharp blade of the saw. The snake ended up being killed by its own anger, by its own reaction to something it thought was out to get it. There's a powerful message here. Often we react in anger when we think others have hurt us, or when we assume that others are out to get us. We react when we don't need to. We hold on to resentment, and sometimes we hope the other gets hurt, but in doing so, we only end up hurting ourselves. The negative energy we carry around when we hold on to these resentments and negative feelings only makes us suffer. Never the person we might want to suffer. When we react in anger rather than with compassion, when we snap back, we can't win. It is always better to ignore negativity. It's always better to let go of negative feelings toward others and rather focus on creating the best life we can for ourselves. If someone does us wrong, rather than react angrily, maybe we should come from. Show some compassion. Maybe they are having a bad day. Maybe all of their days are bad. When we look at things from a new perspective, it's much easier to move. Leaving all negative energy behind. Holding on does nothing good for our future. We must let go.
Okay. Thank you, all of you, for being such a kind audience. I hope you got the message from that video that we had just seen. We can handle anger by our own merit. Either we can react to it or respond to it. If we negatively react to this emotion called anger, we will be hurting ourselves. If we can positively practice anger management and respond in the situations properly when we are angry, we can definitely control the situations well. I would like to conclude by an alarming quote that anger is one letter short for danger. And that letter D stands for development of anger management skills. If we are having the anger management skills within us, we are not allowing this anger, which is an obvious emotion, to convert into danger or into situation which we don't want. Now, when we talk about being anger-free, we can have a full form for that. When we say anger-free, A stands for attitude of gratitude. We need to be thankful for what we are. We need to be thankful for what we got in our lives. N of anger stands for no to bad mood. Yes, dear audience, when we are in this profession, we cannot afford to be in bad mood. G of anger stands for going ahead for solutions. Rather than complaining about the problems, we should be problem solvers. We should look forward to find solution to the problems which we have in our professional life and which we have in our personal lives. E stands for empathy. As I already said, empathy means to step into someone else's shoes, to understand the problem in their lives with their level of perception. That is what is called empathy. R stands for resilience, which means a capacity to recover quickly. We need to show toughness in tough times. Now, when we go for the full form of free, F stands for free from negative thoughts. We have discussed in the session what are the thoughts which are positive, what are the emotions which are positive, and what are the thoughts which are negative. We need to keep our mind free from any such negative thoughts because we are educators. R stands for reinforcing positivity. It is the extension of the first point that we have discussed. We need to keep away the negative thoughts and we need to be positive in our lives. E stands for eradicating any forms of criticism. See, we can be criticized, we were criticized, we are criticized at times, and we will be criticized, but we should not criticize others. E stands for empowering oneself. We are in a profession, as I've already said, which is a blessed one, but it is important to keep on updating. As the new educational policy is on its way, it is going to get implemented soon. We need to keep on updating. The training sessions that we are having is aligned to that updation. We need to keep on learning so that we can bring about the change in the society. And this attitude of being anger-free will definitely give power to us, will definitely give power to everyone we are connected to, and most importantly, it will empower our students because we are directly linked to them. As it is very well said, that confidence is silent, but insecurities are loud. Forgiveness is not something that we do for other people. We must understand this. Forgiveness is not something that we do for other people. We do it for ourselves. We do it for getting well. We do it for moving on and to prosper in our lives. That is the quotation that I would use to end my session. And I'm thankful to all of you to be the kind listeners. I thank CBSE and Sahodaya Hazaribag team for this platform. I especially thank Ashok sir, Principal DAV. I thank my principal, Sister Kirti Karan, for this kind opportunity. Please fill in the attendance cum assessment form, and now the forum is open for questions. You can raise your questions. We will have a question and answer round, and after that we can close with the permission of the hosts. Thank you. Participants, you can ask your queries on the topic or any questions related to the topic. We are open for discussion. Bharat sir? Are the participants having the permission to unmute and ask questions? Yes, please, participants, you have the option to unmute and raise questions if you want.
Sir, can you explain the difference between sympathy and empathy?
Yes, sir, definitely. Very nice question, Praveen, sir. And when we talk about sympathy and empathy, yes, they sounds quite alike, but let me give you an example for it. If some of my friend is admitted to a hospital, I should not say that, but if such thing happens, if I'm going to the hospital with a bouquet, I'm showing sympathy. At the same time, if I'm going to the same place and trying to understand the problem what the family is facing, I'm trying to step into their shoes, I'm trying to understand what they're going through and trying to help them out in that case, by whichever amounts I can. That is what is called empathy. Sympathy is just to show, if we find a beggar in front of us and feel bad about that beggar, that can be sympathy. But if we are trying to get to that position and trying to help that beggar out by making his or her life wonderful, that can be empathy. That is the main difference between sympathy and empathy.
Okay, sir. Now I got it. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir. Any other questions? Any points that you want to raise or add to the topic? Dear participants, attendance link is shared in the comment box. You can fill that attendance and assessment form.
Sir, where it is?
It should be in the comment box, sir.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
In the chat box, yes.
Okay, I got it, sir.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, Bharat sir, if there are no further questions, we can close the session.